This is the Louie T Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to lockdown coverage week number 15 in the National Football League. NFC East family business. If these two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. And nobody's been handling family business quite like the Philadelphia Eagles in this division of late. Undefeated in the division right now after sweeping the Giants 34-29. It was not the game we expected, though. Despite Carson Wentz being out for the season and Nicholas Foles getting his first start of the season, we didn't expect a shootout in the Meadowlands. But that's what we got. And if not for a couple of mistakes by, let's face it, a bad 2-12 Giants football team up 20-7 right before the half, this might have been a loss for the Eagles. Team that really came out flat in this game. No defensive presence whatsoever. Eli Manning threw for 400 and some change on these boys. 3 touches, 1 interception, a big interception that helped change the fortunes of this football game. But nonetheless, I've said it all season long, this Eagles defense, not impressive. The front 4, dangerous. The rest of the defense leaves a lot to be desired, especially in that secondary. You can throw the football against the Philadelphia Eagles and have success. You saw that in this game. You've seen it at times this season. You saw it against the Rams. Rams were able to throw the football with success, but Goff didn't play his best brand of football. That kind of contributed to the loss. In any event, this is an Eagles team right now. Can't afford to be giving up the types of yardage and points that you gave up in this game with no Wentz and expect to beat the best teams in the league. You're coming up against the upper echelon here shortly. Good that you're going to get a first-round bye. Good that you've clinched the NFC East. All of those things are going to help make your path to the NFC Championship game, if you're able to get there, that much easier. But performances like this are a one-way ticket to home, and not in a good way. All right, you can't play like this against, say, the Vikings or the Panthers or the Saints and expect to advance to the next round of the playoffs. You come up against a team like the Falcons or the Saints or the Panthers or the Vikings, and you give up 400 yards passing, or you give up damn near 500 yards of total offense, your ass will be going home. There is no Carson Wentz magic to save you. And trust me, Nicholas Foles ate up the Giants defense. Well, the Giants won't be in the playoffs. He'll be playing against the likes of the Panthers and the Vikings and the Rams. These are all defenses that will give Nicholas Foles some problems. And if you give up 400 yards of total offense, 450, 500 yards of total offense, and you give up damn near 30 points, you're probably going to lose. Just a warning. So you better play better. Now, I get it. It's family business, and this happens when you run into a family member. You underestimate them. This is what happens. This is what happens when you show up and you're like, oh, man, they struggling. Look at those poor bastards. Oh, man, we going to invite them over, but we just going to disrespect them. We just going to disrespect them. And you went over to their crib and you thought you was going to show up with nothing but disrespect, and those boys were ready, willing, and almost able to hand out a loss. A detrimental one at that. You can't afford an L at this point of the season. And that would have been a back-breaking loss had you not come up with this one. But you did. And Nicholas Foles was good. He was really good. 4 touchdown tosses in this game. I think the most improved Eagle this year is Nelson Agholor. I've just continued to be impressed with his growth and maturation after a lot of people were ready to write him off as a bust. And I told people, hey, look, I never trust USC wide receivers. So it wasn't a shock to me that he came out the gate struggling. But I said, hey, look, man, give this man time to mature. You just don't know what you've got until you've seen the entire book written. And the first couple of chapters were rough. And most people that aren't avid readers, they put that book down like, man, this book is garbage. But I said, look, man, not everyone matures at the same level. I tell you this all the time. That's why I hate when people throw around the B word with young guys. Because you don't know what a player is until his whole entire rookie contract has expired. Give him that entire rookie contract to see what he's got. That light bulb may come on the first time he hits the field for you. It may not come on until year 2. Hell, it may not come on until year 4. We've seen it before. And for Aguilar, it took him 3 years. Took him 3 years for the light bulb to come on. But it's on and it's shining bright. And good thing for the Eagles, too, because they need him. Hell of a catch in this game for a touchdown. Love the celebration on the alley-oop. That was awesome. But nonetheless, the Eagles could have easily lost this game. Probably should have lost this game. Luckily, the Giants are 2-12 for a reason. As the biggest stretch of the game right before the half, you're down 20-7. And you get a huge interception by Ronald Darby and a great return that sets up a touchdown to Zach Ertz. And then you turn around and you block a punt, and that turns into a touchdown. And just like that, you go from trailing 20-7 to up 21-20 with about 2 minutes left in the first half. And all the goodwill the Giants had done up until that point to build that 13-point lead, gone. That's what good teams do. That's what bad teams do. And from that point on, you didn't look back, and you were able to take the lead in the second half as the Giants went to the halftime break up 23-21. You were able to take the lead and basically hold them at bay. They had a shot late in the game to beat you with a touchdown. Eli wasn't able to get it done, and you were able to hold them off 34-29 to clinch a first-round bye. Now the question is, can you clinch the number 1 seed overall in the NFC playoffs next week versus the you have the Raiders at home. I'm not sure if you finish tied with the Vikings, what that would do. So I don't know if next week you can wrap up the number 1 seed or not with a win. But it's been a phenomenal season, and Nicholas Foles stepped in and did human-like work for you. So that's good to know you got a veteran that you trust that can come in and keep the party going. But the defense got to play better. I thought Nicholas Foles was fine in this game. Defense has to play better. Or it won't be Nicholas Foles' fault when you get ejected from the playoffs. It'll be your defense's fault. Special teams helped out a lot, though. Blocked an extra point, blocked a punt. They were massive in this game. As for the Giants, quickly, you're 2-12 for a reason. Eli had a hell of a game, but Sterling Shepard, big game for him. Didn't drop another pass, though, but hell of a game for him. But it's the mistakes. It's the blocked extra point. It's the blocked punt. It's the interception by Eli right before the half. It's the mistakes that lost you this football game. You're up 20-7, and you blow that in a 4-minute stretch. You go from up 20-7 to down 21-20. Only a team with the ineptitude of the Giants at 2-12 are capable of doing something so foolish so quickly. I mean, you've got to be a really bad team to do that quickly, to watch that lead evaporate that quickly in the manner that it did. You almost had a punt blocked, then you get a punt blocked. You throw an interception, and both lead to touchdowns. Look, you make the mistake. That's one thing. Find a way to give up 3. No such luck with this defense. And so you weren't able to get it done. A big missed tackle on a 3rd and 9 on a check down in the flats to Zach Ertz. Just make the tackle, and you're getting the football back with about 6 minutes left in this game with a chance to win. Instead, you give up a first down on a broken tackle and about an 11-yard gain on 3rd and 9. They ultimately get a field goal out of the possession and push the game out to 34-29 and eat up another 5 minutes in the process. That's losing football. Same thing can be said down by the end zone. 3rd and 7. Jay Ajayi out in the flats on a 3-yard completion, and you let him break a tackle and get a first down on 3rd and 7. Leads to a touchdown. Don't do that. But you're a bad football team. Can't ask a bad football team to do much of anything except squander leads and lose football games. That's what you did in this game. Pretty disappointing because you had a chance. Look, there's not much you can do to this Eagles season at this point, but you had a chance to throw a slight wrench in there. A slight wrench in there. And you botched that. Much like you've botched much of your season this year. So, Eagles get the win 34-29. Clinch a first-round bye. And I think next week, at home versus the Raiders, have a chance to clinch the #1 seed in the NFC. I don't know if they need to win the final 2 to do that, to keep the Vikings at bay, or if they can just do it simply with a win next week versus the Oakland Raiders at home. Nonetheless, nice win. It wasn't pretty, but when you're good and you've had the type of season the Eagles have had this year, you find a way to get these types of victories, and you got another one on the road versus the Giants. Cloud says it was a combined blame on our defense and defensive coordinator. Whatever it is, it needs to be fixed quickly. Cloud says, I think Shepard is just one of those dudes that just does a good job against my birds, no matter what. Larry Fitz is the same way. Yeah, those slant routes, they were there all day long. Just a lot of soft coverage, man. Jim Schwartz, for some reason, was allowing the slants to kill you guys all day long. Cloud says, I won't make excuses for our defense, but they need to fix this up. Someone said that it may be all the traveling that made our defense play like this. I don't buy that fully, though. I don't buy it at all either. I mean, literally, the Giants, what are they, 2 hours, 3 hours max away from the Eagles facility? So it's a hop, skip, and a jump. That's why there were so many Eagles fans at the stadium. It's a hop, skip, and jump to that game. I'm not buying all the traveling excuse. They slept in their own beds all week, and they made the 3-hour trek up the street, a bus ride up the street Sunday morning for the game. No excuse. So, just get it done. Got to be better. Cloud says, it was like they were playing Madden. Eli Manning had Madden-like numbers. 400 and some change yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Sterling Shepard, 7 or 8 grabs, 9 grabs, 10 grabs, whatever it was, for a buck. Let's call it a $130-something. I mean, they had their way, but it wasn't enough, and that's the most important part. Is it wasn't enough. All of that, and it wasn't enough. Eagles get the win, 34-29, moved to 12-2 on the season. Giants, the inverse of the Eagles, 12-2 at 2-12 this season. Eagles have a chance to go to 13-2 and put a stranglehold on the NFC conference next week with a win at home versus the Raiders. It's going to do it for your man Louie T here on Lockdown Coverage, Eagles, Giants. Nowhere near done, though. Plenty more football coverage from Week 15 here on the Louie T Network, on Lockdown Coverage coming your way, so don't go anywhere. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 2017 and beyond. We're changing the game. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button and becoming a member of the Louie T Network. I've got plenty more Lockdown Coverage to come your way. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a second.